Hey guys, welcome to another video. Wow, and today we are going to be talking about 2017. First of all, a lot of you are gonna be saying that I wear hats way too much and I probably should reduce the amount of times I wear hats in 2018, but I don't really think I should reduce it. But my main reason for wearing hats was, one, my hair's a mess, and two, I just love hats and I've grown a really deep relationship with wearing hats. It's like people's addictions with creating a collection of watches or a collection of, I don't know, wherever you make a collection of. That's how I am with hats. I just love hats and mini accessories, but mainly hats. And today is definitely not Monday. Today is Saturday, my first ever Saturday not working, so it feels so good and I'm able to make this video. And for the first time I'm trying I can't even speak. For the first time I'm trying out the S-Log and different picture profiles, like they call it. But yeah, I might start shooting like this if this ends up working, but if it doesn't, then we're just gonna scrap that. But moving to the main topic, 2017. And for different reasons, 2017 has been the best year of my life, and it's definitely had its downsides. Like the majority of the downsides that I went through in 2017 were really low times. They weren't like the ones where it's just like a kind of thing. It's been really dark or really low due to one thing or the other. Let's start off. Actually, I might use my phone for this one. Alright, so 2017 was an amazing year. For starters, because it wasn't 2016. And 2016 was kind of like a damned year. It was a year that shouldn't be talked about anywhere anymore because it was just that bad. I hated 2016. So finally stepping into 2017, I was so excited. I was like, yeah, we're ready to go kill it and get some pretty cool lessons from this year. And yeah, I stepped into it. My main aim for the year was, I started this thing called Adrenaline, where it was, I actually created it on New Year's Day, and I posted it up New Year's Day on ManArts, the page, which is my graphic design company. And so the whole idea behind it was, I wanted to spend every day of my life doing at least one thing that made my day memorable. So it's one thing that gave me an adrenaline rush that made my day memorable. Oh no, Adrenaline wasn't 2016, was it? It wasn't 2017. Why have I got my mind in 2016? Oh, that's tragic. Wow. Basically, that's what Adrenaline was, and I carried it over to 2017 because 2017 I didn't really have any year's resolutions. It was just kind of like stepping into a new place with a new mindset, new everything. And you know what, I'll put my phone away and try and do this off my head. And it was really good for a lot of reasons, because I was still trying to keep up with that tradition of doing things that would give me a buzz every single day of my life. And the main thing of 2017 for me was making money, because I was stepping into the year having had a job, which I got in 2016, got September of 2016, and I stepped into the year having a job, and one of my main aims was to start saving money, get a camera. Get a camera was, well, probably the #1 thing on my 2017 list was get a camera, because I've been planning on getting a camera for about 2 years and it just hasn't happened. But finally, obviously, as you guys could tell, I checked that off the list. That is the biggest thing that I checked off the list of 2017. And as a matter of fact, I checked things off the list that weren't even on the list to start off with. And so I got into 2017 with a job, stress, trying to combine school and work and making money and learning from all these things. And actually, I absolutely enjoyed my job. As a lot of you could tell, previous videos, vlogs and all, I worked at Subway, and it was an amazing experience, especially for a first job, because I had a manager that was absolutely amazing, hands down best manager I've heard of, in my opinion. I really had a great time and a great experience for a first job. I used to work stupid hours, that's for sure, and I used to get a fairly decent amount of money, and I was paid above minimum wage, so it was like I was in a really sweet spot with working, where it was I wasn't doing bad, but I wasn't exactly doing amazing. So it was like that really good place to be in. And moving through the year, I had to go through the stresses of exams. Oh my god, exams stressed me out so much, like stressed me out to the point of shivering. Like before my maths exam, I was shivering. Like you could ask all my mates, my hands were like shaking crazy. I had to put them in my pockets because I didn't want to attract attention to myself, and I could barely write the first 5 minutes because of it, because all the words would just turn into chicken scribbles. All that passed, and finally me and my mate Saul had been planning throughout this year, throughout 2017, that we were going to start up a YouTube channel. Was probably one of my favorite ideas of all. We actually still work on it till today, so it's not like it's never going to come out. It's definitely going to come out one day, probably not on YouTube, possibly on YouTube, you never know. We had such a good time creating these videos. They were all sketches, they were like comedy sketches and stuff like that. A lot of friends have said we should post it, but I might leave that off for a bit. You never know, it might come out in 2017, come out in 2018. I keep making that mistake, it's really annoying. But finally it got to summertime, no care in the world for schoolwork, and during this period was where I really wanted to play around with graphic designing. Designed a logo for my manager's girlfriend, which I am really proud of. It was probably the hardest thing I've done so far, because she knew exactly what she wanted, and I had an idea, and with most people I've worked with, they didn't really know what they wanted, so I was able to guide them, whereas she knew exactly what she wanted, and I had to fit that sort of box that she wanted. But at the end of the day, that was all done with. So I was coming into the summer of 2017 feeling great, ready to get some more graphic designs done, but there was a lot in the summer that I was like, we need to get done. It was that crazy. But we started working on films with Mad Bros TV, which we edited a lot of them. I learned a lot of stuff, came up with a lot of ideas, sketches, organizing. It was crazy. With Arise, we had some pretty sick events that we held. Arise is an event that I helped organize. It's had a really good year in 2017. What is actually going on? My brain is bugging out really bad. I might actually put a link in the description to what Arise is, so if you want to check that out. And if you live in the vicinity of Bath or possibly Bristol, if you care that much to come over to Bath for an event, then yeah, you could check it out. Finally, I got to the point where it was time to start a YouTube channel. Personally, I got to the point where I was like, I have to start a YouTube channel, because I know if I don't start a YouTube channel right now, I'm never gonna start again. Even if that Mad Bros thing was going on, I just had doubts about it actually starting, and I was like, maybe this might help for me to start a personal YouTube channel where I'm just doing vlogs, because the idea of doing vlogs came from Gary Vee. I saw a video where he said he thinks everyone should do vlogs, and I also saw a video where Peter McKinnon said he thinks everyone should do vlogs, and I thought it was an amazing idea, so I decided to vlog. And so I set up the channel in 2 days, and that day I was like, should I put this up? Should I tell my mate? It might feel a bit snaky, I don't really know what to do. But I just sat there, and in my mind I was like, you know, if you don't do this summer, you are never gonna do this ever again. And all I was hearing was just do it, just do it. All the YouTubers, just do it. All the advice from people, just do it. So I was like, you know what, screw this. So I went out that day with my my stabilizer and my camera. I went out and did that video, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the editing process, I loved the making process. The only part I found super awkward was going out with the camera. It was really awkward. Like, keep that in mind for when you want to vlog, and get ready for it, because yeah, it's gonna be weird. But I ended up creating that, and I thought I was gonna be made fun of. I genuinely thought it was gonna be a terrible experience, but it ended up being amazing. I got a lot of support from friends, family, everyone was supporting me, which I didn't really think would happen. I mainly thought it was gonna end up being one of those things where your mates are just making fun of you, where everyone wants to take the mick, and it turned out to be the exact opposite. Everyone was supporting, everyone was sharing, liking, subscribing, and I was like, wow, this is actually better than I thought. But I still enjoyed it, so I was like, you know what, let's make another one, let's make another one, let's make another one, let's make another one. Before you know it, piled up to the 28 or 30 videos now. But I know that if not for 2017 and what I had experienced in that year, I wouldn't have come out the other side with a YouTube channel, which I'm absolutely happy about, because now that I've dropped Snapchat, YouTube is one of the main things I'm focusing on. And yes, sneak peek to everyone who doesn't know yet, I'm not on Snapchat anymore. But after that, it came to Soul Survivor. Soul Survivor was absolutely amazing. I made a video about Soul Survivor. You could go check it out. I might put it up here if my editing skills are good enough, or I might not put it up there. But Soul Survivor was just amazing this year. This year it was moved over to Peterborough, and it was my first year of actually finally having a camera that I could use to edit, to video, not edit, so I could edit when I get back. And the experience was great because I did it with Elim Church, which is Saul, my mate's church, the guy I was talking about just then, over in Bristol. So I went with them over to Soul Survivor, first year I was on week C, and it was absolutely amazing. It's been a really thought-provoking, self-reflecting experience. Fast forward after Soul Survivor, I get back into school, and a couple months after that, in October, which was probably the most tragic time of the year, one of my really close friends passed away, and that was the worst things ever. It was like the breaking point, because after everything I had done in that year, everything just disappeared. It just became a cloud of darkness again. I don't think I am ready to share deeper information as to what happened with the situation, but it was a really dark time, and I got closer with his mom and everything, and it was really hard to be in an environment where you had to be strong for her, because she couldn't deal with it. She was absolutely gone, but we had to be around, because I knew her through him, obviously, and we started getting closer before he passed away and everything. So it really hurt me, because personally I always wanted to meet up with him like a couple weeks even before it happened, but it was really tragic, as it would be to anyone else, but this was the closest it has been to me, besides other years and stuff. And even, I didn't even mention at the start of the year, I think it was about March, my uncle also passed away. So a lot of the low parts were either depression or people passing away, which also led to depressed clouds over certain times of the year. And after that, I had a whole month or two of just absolutely being lost. I didn't really know how to feel about the things I enjoyed. I didn't enjoy anymore. I didn't feel like there was anything else that I really liked, because him being someone that we worked together on so many projects, we had so many projects we wanted to work on, filming, music, you name it, in art, and it was so devastating for this to happen, especially for a young person and everything. So all that really broke down my spirit, slowed me down a lot, and I can't remember how much longer after that it was, but the part that really picked me up was after a friend, Mo, told me about the NCS t-shirt designing competition. And he was like, mate, I really think you should do this. I think you could definitely win it. And I was like, oh, cheers, man. I'll give it a shot. If I'm to be honest, I wasn't planning on giving it a shot, but I gave it a shot just because I was bored that day, and I was like, you know what, get up, it's 1 a.m, what better to do than do some designing? And so I got up, did some designing, finished off all the designs and put it on Twitter and everything, and got feedback from them the next morning. I was like, oh cool, I'm in a competition. This is like the first ever official competition, and that went forward. And I was like, I always had it at the back of my mind. I was like, what if you win? What would life be like? And I thought about it. I was like, nah, scratch that. You're not gonna win out with this many people who've applied. I later found out there's hundreds and hundreds of people who applied, but I did it, and that was like one of the first steps I've taken to actually being criticized, where I put my whole art and my emotions on the line to be criticized, because I'm someone who's really emotional, and it was like a make or break, because I don't know how I would have felt if I didn't win. I can remember walking through it and I was like, you're not good enough to win. There was one day where I had like a really dark vibe through the day, mood, and I was like, you're not gonna win. Why are you trying? Why are you trying so much? None of this is gonna happen. And fast forward to weeks after that, and I get a message. Well, I was actually just scrolling on Twitter after leaving it for a couple of days, and I see a message that says, 3 days or 4 days ago, and it's like, you were picked as one of the finalists. And I was on the bus coming back from college, and I'm like, what? And I'm just reading and scrolling down, and I'm like, whoa. So I quickly replied to it just in time. Literally, I was that close to possibly losing it, because it was on a Friday and they had sent it like 3 days before, and they were like, reply ASAP, and they were off on Saturdays obviously, but I was like, type really fast and everything, had to send the information, and they were like, could you quickly get home and send us this information? I did all that. Eventually I found out that there were only 2 finalists, and I was like, what is actually going on? It moved really quickly, which was a surprise. But I then went for the thing in London, which I also did a vlog about, and it was amazing. The whole experience of going to the College of Fashion London, working with UAL and everything, it was such an amazing experience. Meeting Jim Chapman, who was cool. Yeah, he was a cool dude. And just the art and everything was just absolutely amazing. The people, the NTS workers, UAL workers, they were just absolutely amazing. My experience in exploring London and traveling alone on a train for the first time was just amazing, and it just kept going and going and going. And eventually I put up the video for the London trip, and I tagged NTS in it, and all of a sudden I get an email saying, alright, so we saw your video and we think it's really cool, and they start referencing stuff that I said in it, and I'm like, people actually watch my videos. And then they were like, we would like to ask you to apply for a job in our NCS conference as a run the show person. I can't remember how they put it, but I was so happy. And funny enough, that week was a really dark week for me. That week was a bit off because I started having doubts and feelings of depression and stuff. But that really lifted it up, because it was like another just bright light shining into this really dark situation. And finally I was able to apply for it. I actually applied like immediately I saw it, I went and applied, and I was like, how many times can I apply and everything? And they didn't reply to that, which is quite sad. But at the end of the day, I ended up getting the job, and I found out that I got the job just a couple days before I was meant to be traveling. And so I accepted it and all, and it was to be on the 12th of December. On the 12th of December, ended up having to take time off school, which was absolutely amazing, to substitute this for school. And no, substitute school for this, you get what I mean. But I ended up going for a meeting, a lot of cool people. Somehow while being there, I ended up being asked to go on stage and talk about my NTS experience, which was another amazing experience because I wasn't expecting to get this job, and then I ended up getting the job. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll do what I can with what I have. And then I find myself talking about my experience in front of over 1,000 people, and they're like, wow, this was not in the plan for December or even 2017. And it was just such an amazing experience. Unfortunately, I couldn't put up a vlog of Birmingham because I did a whole vlog of it, but I didn't realize I was supposed to use my camera for the videography job. So when I found out, I had to delete everything because I literally found out a couple moments to the actual event, and I was like, oh snap, and I didn't know where to put it or how to transfer or anything, so I just deleted everything and just started recording. And it was such an amazing experience having to meet cool people like Kofi, like Bryony. She was so amazing. These people are just so gifted in young people that are driven just as much as I am, and it put me in an environment where I was working with like-minded people. I was working with people who had aspirations outside of the usual, completely like stars, galaxies kind of dreams and everything. And it was really amazing to work with that because I really felt comfortable in that environment. I felt like it was a challenging environment that really pushed you to the point of actually showing who you really were. And it was just amazing to work with these people. And eventually it was amazing, the treatment and everything, because we stayed in Hilton, and it made me feel like such an important person. Like, you don't even understand. I felt so important. So I had to head back down to Bath, catch a bus, a coach to London, and wait for my plane. So now we're at the point where I'm going over to Nigeria, and mind you, I haven't been in Nigeria in 3 years, and just going back, I was so nervous because I was like, oh, I'm gonna be awkward, oh, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that, people aren't gonna be there, people aren't gonna like me. I don't know what all the thoughts were, but a lot of the thoughts were just there. And finally, fast forward to getting there, touched down on the soils, and I just felt a sense of peace, calm, and just being at home. And it was just amazing. Just from the moment the tires of the airplane hit the ground, it was just pure amazing. And we started seeing faces, old faces, these faces that we used to chill with and everything, and it was just amazing from start to finish. My mate Aquila, he's now an amazing photographer. You could go check him out on Instagram. He is at AQShot. Just started seeing all these faces and all of that. So the whole experience in Nigeria was absolutely amazing on the surface, but then going deeper, it got me thinking a lot about my country. It got me thinking about the situation with the government. It got me thinking about all of that, and it really put me down to some extents to think that it's still in the situation that it's in. It made me look further into myself. It was like a kick in the ass that I needed for 2018, and it was like, I looked around me, and you see 12-year-olds, you see 9-year-olds standing out in the sun selling things to make money. Like that's like the definition of true hustling. And I was seeing this happening from people way younger than me, and it just made me think about it. And I was like, so